Hi, welcome back to Urban to Acres Homesteading. I'm Jen.
I'm Sean.
Today is June 6th. It's a Friday here, and we just thought that we would come on and talk to you a little bit about what we've been up to,
Where things stand.
what's going on here, and what our goals are for about the next week. So as far as what we've done, we have gotten a lot accomplished over the last week, which has been great. However, I think some of our stuff has been a little bit slowed down. Softball's in full swing for the youngest. We've had an interesting softball week with her. We got more games this weekend. We got a
Starting
tournament
tomorrow afternoon.
So, we're just trying to carve out time to do all of the things. So we last weekend, or was it the weekend before? I feel like it was the weekend before. We finally got the potato bed in. I think it was Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
So we got the potato bed in, we got the green beans, or not green beans, but the beans planted. And we've been waiting to see some sprouting action, and we're finally seeing some.
And today, I drove down it and I was like, we have potatoes and we have beans, which was a nice, a nice feeling to see those. So I was very, very happy to see those sprouting. I'm not saying that they're all up by any means, but at least we are seeing the beginnings. Some of the beans are up pretty big, so I probably could have seen them a couple days ago if I would have looked.
But we did look, I believe it was was it Sunday, or did I look Wednesday when I came out here with you?
It was probably Wednesday.
And they weren't up, so it's a fresh revelation.
Within the last day, 2 days.
We did get some rain last evening. Just a quick little pop-up.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
But it came down quick, so I feel like that was good. We got some good natural water. But it hasn't really rained much other than that, I feel like. Which is good, because we've been
hitting the outside pretty hard.
Well, we've just had so much rain this spring. So we have not been able to do a whole lot, as most people in the area could attest to. We've been really working diligently on getting the corn plot ready, which I think is finally ready. So we're going to get the corn in hopefully this weekend. And then we're going to do some Three Sisters stuff with it. So we'll be planning that as well. I
think we have to wait a few weeks, right?
You wait until there's certain height.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we're pretty excited about the potatoes, the beans. Some of our succession lettuce plants are up. So we have more in the high tunnel, but I also wanted to get one bed in out under a tree, so that it would have the shade, because we know that in the summer the high tunnel is going to be really hot, and so the lettuce might get bitter in there. Great place to grow it early spring,
and
late
the
fall.
end of this year we're gonna get some more in probably towards the end of August, I think.
Well, yeah, we're going to be succession planting all summer long, but we'll make sure that we get some in so that it can maybe tide us over in the winter, since it'll be in the high tunnel. We know it won't grow in the winter, but if it's already grown, it's sort of like cold storage for us. So.
Right, which will be awesome.
So
the broccoli, pretty much all of them have heads on them now.
Yep. And so I'm hopeful that they'll be ready to harvest before it gets too hot, because we know broccoli doesn't like too much of heat. We have lots that has been planted. We have also added the beds behind us. We have peas in now on these 2 trellises, and we ordered the stuff from Amazon that you see behind us. It's white netting. We found that on one of our favorite YouTube channels, so we ordered some, and it was way easier than installing fencing or anything like that.
True Grit, Appalachia.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I got that totally right.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one it was. I knew I could see the couple in my head, but I didn't know the name of their YouTube channel. So yeah, we ordered that, and we're hopeful that stuff starts coming up so we can
get that trellised up.
We know that peas also aren't too much of fans of heat, but we also couldn't get anything in because it was a rainy, muddy mess out here for way too long. So we put them in. If we don't get any, we'll try it again in the fall when it's a
But
little
next
cooler.
spring with the beds already built, I
Mhm.
mean, we should be
And we'll likely
rocking.
also use that for something else, maybe some pole beans later this summer. So it'll get used. What else?
Back to the cucumbers in
Oh,
the
yeah.
high tunnel. A lot of them are up to 5 to 6 inches tall already.
Yeah, they're looking good.
So I've got to get those netted. Probably this next week I should put them in. Right next to them we have carrots in, but we haven't seen those sprout yet.
Yeah, they haven't germinated, but that's not unusual. Carrots are finicky and take a little while, so they'll come when they're ready.
We've got what, about 35 or 40 foot of carrots?
Oh, no, not that much. Maybe 15 feet of carrots.
I thought it was more than that, but
No.
okay.
And then our big project next weekend is freezer camp day for the meat birds.
Yes. We've been looking forward to this. We're a little apprehensive, maybe is the right word.
I don't know that looking forward is the right
No,
word.
the part I'm looking forward to is looking at the freezer after it's
Okay.
all in there and frozen.
Yeah.
And looking at all the different cuts that we have, the few whole birds that we're going to keep. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that.
We have 33 birds. We have one of our daughter's best friend has butchered chickens before, our youngest daughter. So she's 4. The girl's actually 13. My daughter's 14. They're in the same grade. And she's going to come over and help.
She said she'd be more than willing to come show us the ropes.
Yeah, so
we're going to be learning. We will bring you along for that journey.
we won't show you the gross parts. But we're going to be doing that. So she'll be out here as well. She's going to help us out learning the ropes. We'll probably send her with a couple chickens, and then we'll probably give our landlord a chicken too. We're going to keep her.
We'll see what.
Yeah.
We got to keep her happy.
Yeah, we want to keep her happy because we want to stay and be able to utilize this space for a couple years at least. Putting a lot of work into it.
Yeah, if not longer.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a beautiful. She's got a beautiful piece of property.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't ask for anything more as a leaser.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which term it is, but and I mean, she's been great. So we're definitely going to return all of that.
So yeah, we have some big projects coming up, but it's nice to start to see some seeds and some things growing.
Yes.
The volunteer tomatoes that we have at home actually look better than the tomatoes that we've cultivated from seed in the basement.
And
under
the
grow
ones in the
lights.
high tunnel are starting to look pretty doggone good.
Yeah, they're getting there, but the volunteers,
Oh, fantastic.
we've got some volunteer pumpkins too, and we were originally talking about transporting them out here, but we bought pumpkin seeds too, and we're gonna put some up with some cattle panel arches. The girls have plans, so.
Okay.
But yeah, we're leaving those in our front yard because the little kids that walk down the street love to stop and look at the pumpkins in the fall. So I like to leave them there. We have lots of strawberries coming in at home, so I've had lots of little snacks in the yard. Me and the girls.
Yeah, she actually gave me one. I was pretty thrilled. Last year, I don't think I got any last year.
We had a much smaller harvest. It was the second year, so we planted them 2 summers ago. Didn't really get anything from them that first year. Last year we got a small harvest. This year they spread like crazy, and so we have so many more this year, and they're much bigger this year, so that's cool.
And we're going to transplant. When we get some more rows done and we get the majority of what we want in the ground, and these were supposed to be ever bearing, but they're a one-time bearing, which I believe is June bearing. So then we're going to take those and we're going to transplant a bunch of them out here. I'd like to get 3 or 4 rows, but I don't know if that's what we'll get or not.
Yeah, we'll see where we get, and we just figure put them in out here. Maybe next summer we'll get a few off of them, and then
maybe the following year we'll get a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And it'll be another spot to have more berries, and it doesn't cost us any money. It just costs us a little bit of time.
Right. which is awesome.
So I think that's about it that we have going on. It's going to be a busy week again. I have Monday off, so that's
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
It's a
I will
surprise,
be
think,
hauling
for
more
him.
compost. Yeah, I knew she should be off this coming week, but I had no idea what day.
Yeah, I work 9 out of 10 office days, so every other week, sometimes I have a day off, but it's really one time off per pay period. So sometimes I will work a little bit longer. It seems like a long time
And
before
it
I get
depends
into
on
the
the
next day
schedule,
off.
and people are on vacation, and
Yeah.
she kind of makes it, fit.
Yeah, it's
the
not
group.
always every other week is the important part, the important thing to say. I
Right.
sometimes work 3 weeks in a row before I get.
Right, it's
Just
not
how
like
it
every
works
other
out.
Friday she's off or something like that.
So it's nice to have a day off this coming week. We'll be able to get a lot of work done. All the kids will be out of school. I think
Today was the first day?
Yeah, I think the youngest won't be able to milk her broken nose anymore.
Yes, that was a fun evening of softball when a bad bounce between the infield and the outfield where the grass comes up. It hit that as she was going for it, and it moved on her very quickly. And needless to say, she lost
That battle.
that battle.
But she's a tough cookie. She was ready to go back in later that inning.
Yeah.
She asked 3 more times to go in during that game. So as she was like stopping the bloody nose.
The coach might have been getting a little annoyed. Charlotte, I've told you no.
But yeah, she's ready to play again this weekend. So that's where we're at. More softball, lots more gardening. But I've been pleased with our progress with this week. We've done a lot and we've made good progress. So
The weather has been
more
on our
cooperative.
side.
Yes. Which that's been the biggest struggle this year is just the weather. If the weather had been more cooperative all year, I feel like we would have been
If we
further
could have gotten a
along.
couple of week break in there, even if it drizzled a little here and there, but I mean, it was downpours.
Yeah. I mean, the ground was just muddy, like you sunk into it, and now it's all hard again. So
Yeah.
that's good. We can utilize it, and hopefully we get a lot done this week, and we have a good report for you. Sometime
Hopefully
next weekend.
hopefully next week
Probably,
we'll be able to give another.
Maybe on Sunday night we can sit down and do another one after we've done the birds for the weekend.
Good call on that. Yes.
So, anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Urban to Acres Homesteading.
Have a great night.